And now it's time for a roast. All right, so we are back with another YouTube roast of our favorite glory hole cum guzzler, Jason Blaha. Look at him. Look at him in his t-shirt and his ranger panties. Yeah, this is a new one that he's just made. Came up last night, I think. What a joke. Look, I mean, look at him. Imagine if you go along that silly train of thought and say, oh yes, he's a coach. Can you imagine having Jason Blaha as a coach? So you're going to wherever you're going to a gym, and you're talking to your gym bros, and you say, oh yeah, I've got a coach. I've just started paying a coach to train me online, doing some virtual coaching, and they say, oh yeah, who is it? Oh, he's quite well known on YouTube for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, he's very well known on YouTube. His name's Jason Blaha. And then one Google of Jason Blaha and all the crap comes up about him. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the guy is a joke. He is the last of the three stooges of YouTube. He really is. We got Jason Genova, you got Mark Stubin, and you got this fucking idiot. The three stooges of YouTube. The three idiots of YouTube. Two of them have gone. So there's only one left now, and it's this thing. Just sort of burrowed in like a tick, like a parasite. And that's what he really is. He's a parasite of YouTube. Government sort of disability benefits, all that stuff. I mean, just a parasite. Parasiting off of women, leeching off them, taking everything he can from people. Just a parasite. The reason his family have completely disowned him. Just a leech. Anyway, let's get into this video. So there's a couple of videos really. I mean, firstly, he goes on about, he talks about, oh, I've got loads of videos, guys, on private. Yes, I've got loads of videos, almost 100 videos on private. Has he? I mean, because looking at all this, because we can tell now because he's just bought the extra piece of poverty equipment. And bear in mind, he's got some rogue stuff. I mean, a good YouTuber with 100,000 subs would probably get this stuff free. If he's got 100,000 subs and he's involved in the fitness industry, he'd probably get given some of the rogue stuff free. They'd say, oh yeah, you got 100,000 subs. You're heavily into what we're trying to promote. We're gonna just chuck you some free stuff. We're going to give you some free weights. We're going to give you a free, cage, all that stuff, this new bit that he's bought to the back of it, But anyway, so he's actually went out and he probably used his Donald Trump check to buy this. And, he's gone out and bought this second part to it, isn't he? So let's have a quick look. So he's bought the second part, so he's got this back part to it now, so it's an actual sort of cage rather than just a freestanding sort of unit, the red parts. So we know now when he's filming, because before he moved it and you could get an idea of how new his videos were and how much sort of he's recycling his videos as well, all the footage. And we can tell by this, because this is new, so we know it's a new video. So he's saying he isn't recording anything. He's still doing little bits, because we can see, because this is the new footage. because of the he's got the additional bars at the back there. But you know, this is one that he released 2 hours ago from me making this video, which is 11 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning. And this is recycled footage. So this is a brand new video using more recycled footage. And everything he does is just recycled.
However, what it is a strength risk, and it is a
recycled. Again, more smoke and mirrors, more weak links. You know, I mean, he doesn't know what he's doing, does he? This is old footage, but these, you know, this is what I was talking about yesterday in my in episode 68. He uses 2 sets of plates even on the blues, you know, and his outer ones are, this outer one's a rogue plate, and it looks like this inner one is a rogue plate because we can't see the other side of this. It looks like that outer one is the fake plate and this inner one is the fake plate, because there's one in there, is one set of plates that he's got with no, they're just standard sort of weird looking blue plates, you know, they don't even look like real plates. Yeah, we can see the rogue plates, and it's all angles, it's all deception. He's the master of well, not the master, he's not the master of anything, is he? Does a bit of this and that, you know, he's a jack of all trades, you know, jack of all lies. He's not a master of anything, but he's, you know, he's reasonably intelligent enough to figure out the angles and what can be seen from where. And this is why he does all the weird angles and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this inner plate and that outer plate over there are the fake ones. So again, he's using all these silly bands and fake plates and everything. What is this? I've never understood this. Why he can't just do a normal squat. You know, why can't he just do a normal arse to grass squat if he's such a badass power lifter? You know, and Masters athlete, guys, Masters athlete. Why can't he do this? Why can't he just do a standard arse to grass squat? Why can't he do it? Why does he have to have a little sit down halfway through? Why? Never understood that. Anyway, so we're going to get into this new joke of a video, this one. So he's got himself a cambered bench press bar. And again, it's more lies, it's more smoke and mirrors, and it allows him to deceive us, yeah? If you want to be deceived. Sorry, just getting back to those, this is a rogue weight. You can tell this is a rogue weight here. It's a blue plate with the white dots. If you do go back to this one, so I'm bouncing around a bit, you can see these haven't got the dots on. So maybe that is the fake plate in there as well. He's too dumb to even figure that out. But the back of a rogue plate, a blue rogue plate, has the white dots. That's how you can tell it. This one on the floor here, this looks like one of his dodgy plates. You know, it hasn't got the dots on it, hasn't got the rogue white rogue writing on it. Yeah, so we can see. So just something to be aware of. He's a liar. He's always been a liar, and he's never going to change. Yeah. Anyway, so back to this. He's got this bar, a bench bar, but he's going to do some deficit deadlifts with it. Yeah. And again, this allows him to use less weight and deceive you into thinking, oh, he can't do more weight because it's a deficit deadlift and he's got this special bar. So he even goes and talks about it in this video. He says that he'll be doing about 100 pounds less with this bar. Yeah. And then he goes on to say if he can get up to 525, he'll be a record breaker. Anyway, let's watch this video because it's funny as fuck.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. And yesterday I put up a photo of a new bar that I got. And I had mentioned this would be used for bench pressing and that it would be used for deficit deadlifts. And I had a number of people go, I don't understand how this would help with deficit deadlifts. It doesn't make sense. Some people tried to explain it to them in typing.
Right, stop for a minute. Yeah, look at his Jason Genova hands. Yeah, he just holds them out at a weird sort of angle, like holds them out all stiff and weird, like he's got some sort of weird, I don't know, something very wrong with him. There's something very wrong with him. You know, if you look at Jason Genova's hands, and the only difference between Jason Genova and Blaha is Jason Genova actually has some personality. He might be a bit of a a chancer and try and sort of take people for a ride and everything. But at least he's got a bit of personality. But watch Jason Genova's hands, and then we go back and watch Blaha's hands. It's the same. They must have the same sort of issues.
Minty as fuck. And this is the most famous line I ever said at the weather barn. I know science. You don't know science. I'm not fat. I'm off season. Woo! 2.0, baby. You've been buzzed. Peace out. Bye.
Look at the hands. Look at the hands. The same hands as Blaha. The same sort of weird sticking out sort of hands as he's. So we just watch this.
Not very well. People still didn't get it. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you guys, and I want to talk about a couple things with it first. And we'll talk in a minute about why a lot of exercises, the range of motion is ambiguous. Full range of motion doesn't always mean what you think it means. And in the case of a deadlift like this is a perfect example. And then I want to talk about, before I demonstrate this, I want to make this clear. If you do not have...
What's he looking at? He's looking at something over here. What's he looking at? I mean, he just looks like a gimp, doesn't he? He looks like a gimp. He's tight, overweight women's shorts. His ranger panties. This stupid, smelly old T-shirt that he's found in the bottom of his closet. And the belt. What's the belt for? I mean, he's just a stupid looking fuck. And he's got these things dangling down here, and he reckons in a minute, he does loads of leg raises for his core strength. But, it's just absolute shit that he comes out with. Listen to this.
Have a strong low back and core, do not do this. Don't even consider deep deficit deadlifts. It's reckless. These are perfectly safe if done carefully with respect, even for matches. But here's the added caveat. You need to have built your low back up. If you have done, in other words, only big, heavy compound movements, if that's all you've done and you think you have a strong core, you don't have a strong core.
So this is the bloke that tears his erector walking down some stairs. Rips his erector up and damages his back and everything, just walking up and down a flight of stairs. His shoulders are shot. But he's saying if all you've done is heavy core exercises, heavy 1 rep max and what, if you're a proper powerlifter, not like this clown, you're not strong enough. You're not strong enough. But he is. He's stronger than anyone. Absolute fucking idiot. Listen to it.
Here's the added caveat. You need to have built your low back up. If you have done, in other words, only big, heavy compound movements, if that's all you've done and you think you have a strong core, you don't have a strong core.
So if you've only done big compound movements and you think you've got a strong core, you haven't got a strong core. Not as strong as Jason Blaha's, with his love handles and his just that weird C-section scar and the bag puss. I call it a bag puss. We used to call it a bag puss when women have had kids, and they've got that sagging sort of skin that's all stretched and it hangs over their waistband like a bag, like a what do I call it, a bum bag, it's like a bag puss, it's dirty, which is probably why he has a little bag puss, fur thing, little toy thing, a bag puss, because he probably is known as bag puss because he's got that pussy bag thing, that sack hanging over his mangina. I don't know, but it's fucking repulsive, whatever you think about.
I was going to call it flat out. There's no way of squatting and deadlifting are the tools that you use to build your core that you should be doing this. I mean, things like good mornings, hyperextensions, reverse hypers, like a perfect world, reverse hypers, combined with good mornings if you've done very high volumes with them, and you built your low back up and you train your abs. And I've had that come up to people like, Jason, why don't you train your abs? And then you see these hanging here. What do you think these are for? Come on. They're hanging right there on my rack. I do tons of leg raises. But
come on. What do you think these are for? Come on. Come on, man. He's been watching Joe Biden, hasn't he? Come on, man! He has. He's been watching Joe Biden.
Is what they do worthwhile? Come on, man. 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 No, I'm serious. I'm being deadly earnest.
Fucking loser. What do you think these are for? Come on, man! Much.
And you've built your low back up and you train your abs. And I've had that come up to people who are like, Jason, why don't you train your abs? And then, you see these hanging here. What do you think these are for? Come on. They're hanging right there on my rack. I do tons of leg raises.
And it shows, of course, he does tons of leg races. He hasn't got sagging, hanging rolls of fat hanging off his waist, does he? That he has to hide with a belt. No, he does tons of hanging leg raises. Come on, man. Fucking loser. He wants to tell us something, try and paint this imaginary picture in our minds. And our eyes tell us another story. Our eyes tell us the truth. He doesn't do hanging leg raises. Look how narrow his shoulders are compared to his hips. He's got the dimensions of a woman, a pear-shaped woman, a middle-aged woman. Look at the state of him. But he does loads of hanging leg raises, man. Come on, man.
Build your core. If you do not have a strong low back and good bracing on a deadlift, this is dangerous. But what you guys can see, here's the problem we run into with deficit deadlifts.
Look at the hands again. Look at the fucking retard hands.
What happens usually, at least for a lot of us, we start getting to about the 3-inch, 4-inch, something like that. It becomes impossible to do sometimes because of, again, the height of the bar and then the bar hitting your foot. No one wants to miss a max deadlift or a heavy deadlift and have the bar hit the top of their foot up here. It might clear down at your toes, but that part of your foot's higher up, and when you drop that and it hits, it's going to hurt. And you may not be able to fit your foot in there. The problem is the bar gets in the way of your feet, therefore the range...
He's actually getting out of breath talking. I'm very conditioned, guys. I do like sled pulls. Yes, I'm very conditioned. As he gets out of breath talking. Fucking hell. Fucking getting out of breath just talking. Can you imagine this clown being anyone's coach? He's a fucking idiot.
Your motion on a deficit deadlift is limited by the barbell in your feet. This corrects that. Now, this is normally used for bench pressing. It can also be pretty good for rowing too, for obvious reasons, if we want to increase the range of motion. Has applications for the barbell row. Same thing with the bench press, though. You can see how that would increase the range of motion. So what
it gets me out of breath because I'm listening to his breathing now, and it makes me feel a bit out of breath. He's sort of he's really out of breath just talking. I mean, he is seriously unfit. He does all this pretend working out using fake weights, bands and chains and all the bullshit. And all these stupid fucking little bars that he buys, But he gets out of breath just talking. And when you listen to him, you kind of start breathing the same sort of way, in the same pattern as him. It's horrible listening to him trying to breathe.
I've built a 5-inch deficit here. I have 4 EVA foam pads that are 1 inch thick, and I have a 1 inch thick calibrated road plate on top. And if you guys notice, that creates a 5-inch deficit, and the bar sits above that. Now, because this also will create almost a snatch grip, not a true snatch grip, but a wider grip than normal, that creates a larger deficit. So this is actually a longer range of motion due to your arm position as well. So this is something like the equivalent of, if compared to a normal grip, this might be a 5.5 or even 6-inch deficit in terms of the range of motion. Because again,
Jesus, that deep breathing, it's like he's on a respirator. With a thing that goes up and down next to you on the bed. That's what he sounds like when he's breathing. It's fucking horrible when you sort of zero in on it. It's terrible.
The wider grip you'll be forced to take as well. And in many cases, this may require the use of straps. Okay, because of that wider grip, and this sort of bar doesn't have the knurling you might want, you might actually need to strap up for this, and that's okay. We can do tons of other stuff for our grip. So as you guys can see, I'm going to demonstrate, this creates a pretty ridiculous deficit, right? This is a big deficit.
He's actually out of breath just getting on there, talking. He's like, I reckon he smokes about 60 a day. He must do. I mean, he doesn't sound healthy at all. He sounds like fucking really unhealthy. He obviously looks unhealthy. So, yeah, if it looks like a duck, talks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Let me see if I can do this. Look at that. All right, that is a serious deficit.
Jesus.
Look at my hand position relative to my feet. Okay. Dramatically increases the range of motion on the deadlift through the hardest part. You are not going to be able to lift anywhere near the same weight. I would venture to say, depending upon the person, and I haven't tried it yet, I'm going to predict like 100 pounds difference.
So this is where he's making up the lies now, you know? Making up the stories. Oh, yeah, I can't lift my usual 600 because it's a different bar. It's a deficit. And all the rest of it. So already he's chucking 100 pounds off his PR. You know, it's just another set of rubber bands. It's just another set of chains. It's another thing to deceive and just distract. You know.
So for this, for example, for me, if I get up into the 500s on this, when I go to test it, I'll be thoroughly impressed. If I can pull like 520.
He's really gasping for breath. What is that? Is it? I mean, he sounds really fucked. I mean, I know I'm talking a lot about the breath or lack of, and his cardiovascular system. I mean, it's shot like his shoulders. I mean, it's terrible. He's gasping for breath. Yeah, just from stepping up on here and doing one silly little deadlift, and then now he's gasping for air even more.
With this, I'll be impressed. The downside to a bar like this, they do have weight limits. This bar has a limit of 600 pounds. Okay, these are not easy to find. It's difficult to find a cambered bench bar, also called a McDonald bar. They're not easy to find right now. Not a lot of them are manufactured. It took me a while to get one. It took me several months, actually. But I've got one, and I got it for less than 300, so I'm thrilled. It only holds 600 pounds. But by that same token, if I can do a 4-inch or a 5-inch deficit with 600 pounds, which is the safety limit of the bar, I will be as strong as I ever need to be. I'm literally, for where I'm about to be in terms of age and weight, we're talking world record level deadlifts at that point.
So he reckons if he can pull 520 on here, probably chucking on, no doubt, his usual little trick of throwing on a load of fake weight as well. Technique plates, padding it out, making it blue, red, blue, green, blue, just making it a big multicolored mess of plates just to deceive and distract you from the fact that he's getting weaker and older. So this would be a big mess of plates with a load of dodgy technique and fake plates mixed in with it. And he reckons if he can do 520, he'll be a record breaker.
Record breaker.
Record breaker. Yeah, you'll be a record breaker. You might get another medal, Blaha, in the post. Another participation medal. He's never going to do these numbers at a meet, is he? He's never going to do them in a real gym. He'll do them locked away in his cuck shack. Hidden away where no one can check the plates, the weights, No one can check his real numbers. It's easier that way. It's easier to lie. Anyway, fuck this loser. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family, and I'm out of here.
Let me put the nail in this coffin real tight. God hates a coward. God hates a coward. 21:8 says, but the cowardly and the unbelievers, murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire, which is the second death. God wrote that, I didn't. Who leads the list of that ragtag mob? The cowardly.